What's up, guys? This is Young Shot here, back here today to give you guys another video. And this time we're going to be talking about all the free agent signings that's gone along and basically the reactions and all of just basically giving them a grade. Now, I'm not going to give every single free agency signing a grade, but just basically the major ones. We're going to be looking directly at the major ones, all the big pickups, even including the little signings as well. But as again, the main purpose is to look at the big ones and just basically evaluate it. So let's start off with obviously Chris Paul and Paul George. I didn't do a grading the deal with Ricky Rubio and Paul George, and I know of that, so just be patient. I know I haven't been putting out a lot of content as well for the channel. I've been trying my hardest to basically, do other things as well, as far as writing articles on Rotoden, which you must guys check it out. Definitely a very good site to look at, and just basically just looking at all the basically doing podcasts as well with Angry and the Angry Fanatics over there. So pretty much let's get this video started. Let's see what we can do with all these free agents, basically what I think about it, and pretty much how it's going to fit every team coming in for the off season. And then also we can also talk about probably the Summer League. I'm probably going to bring that up in the next video, so stay tuned. So with the reports that happened, pretty much Paul George, I'm going to bring this up first besides Chris Paul, because I already brought up the Chris Paul trade through another video. You guys can check that out. But pretty much so far, Paul George got traded to the OKC Thunder for pretty much Oladipo and Sabonis. Paul George being a one-year rental possibly for OKC. I think it was a good trade for OKC, honestly, because one, they get the star player, obviously. They get Paul George. Paul George is going to go straight to the OKC Thunder to play with Russell Westbrook, who's the reigning MVP. Russell gets help. It's a little lower form of Kevin Durant, I know, and less help. But the thing is, if OKC could find a way how to pull another trade, maybe get somebody, I say it would be all worth it to basically compete. Now, they can't really. It doesn't seem like that way because other people already been gone already, or other big impactful players already been gone. The only player that's still remaining left to weigh all his options is Gordon Hayward. But besides that, when you look at this Thunder team, pretty much now they have Russell Westbrook, Andre Roberson, Paul George. I don't know who they're going to be. They starting power forward is not going to be Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you got Steven Adams. So pretty much OKC just have to figure out some things, hopefully make some low-key pickups, and I think Paul George and Russell Westbrook-led team could get them to a 3rd seed or 4th seed, possibly. I don't think it's going to be it's going to be a huge boost, but I don't think it's going to be that huge of a boost to where people are going to, people are not really going to, think this team is going to make it into a contendership, and I don't think so either. Their defense is going to be really good, but when offense goes down and you really need ISO ball, I don't think Russell and Paul George is going to give you what you need, essentially. So in that case, I say that trade, or pretty much that trade, is going to be helpful for OKC. Also helpful for the Pacers, considering what the Pacers could have had. They said that the Celtics was not giving up Brooklyn 1st round pick, and Pacers just did not want pretty much the 2 1st round picks or the 3 1st round picks that they was giving, which includes in the future with Jay Crowder. They didn't like it. Pacers also said that they didn't want to trade pretty much Paul George to the East. Instead, wanted to trade him to the West, so that way they can still rebuild and not worry about, a certain player basically holding them back in the past, which I think is good. Pretty much for the Pacers, you get Oladipo. Oladipo is a big pickup, I feel. And pretty much Sabonis is actually still developing. Now to add to that, you still got Miles Turner. You got Lance Stevenson, who still, I think it's like 28, 27. Can still give you some years, possibly. Not bad for the Pacers end, but again, OKC is the winner of that trade. Now, for other news, we got Paul Millsap going to the Denver Nuggets. I think that was a great pick by the Denver Nuggets. Paul Millsap definitely plays really good and would bring defense, would bring a lot of his versatility skills, especially him being a stretch four. Be really good for the league. You also got Jokic with him as a center. You still don't get a rim protector, which is, I think, was the big thing. But Millsap could play that center spot. It's just that he's too short or too undersized at times, but doesn't equip from what his skills is. Really good defensively, could score offensively, could have nights where he scores 20, where Jokic could also do the same. Still got Jamal Murray, still got a lot of young players on that team as well. So I don't see a problem with the deal. It's that I don't know how big is it going to be as far as rim protection. Rebounding should be good. Everything should be good. As I said, Denver Nuggets were a really good deal right there. Another deal that I really want to look at is the Ricky Rubio trade, where Ricky Rubio gets traded to Utah for pretty much a first-round pick. Ricky Rubio gets basically sent off to Utah Jazz. Minnesota been wanting to get him out ever since the season or the off season pretty much began. They wanted him off. They got Jimmy Butler. What they looking for is another point guard, which they did get in Jeff Teague in a free agent signing. So that was, I feel, still kind of downgrade from what they really wanted. They wanted to shoot at point guard, but I guess they get a more aggressive point guard to fit with all those players. So I don't see it not working bad or too bad, but I don't think it's going to be working just like Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio is a great passer. Was still developing his shot. Wasn't the most consistent shot, obviously, but he has really good passing skills to get everybody involved and really good solid defense. So I say Ricky Rubio is better, but Jeff Teague is more aggressive, obviously. You want an attacking point guard, especially if Jimmy Butler, Wiggins, or Towns is not going off. You have 4 options down on the court to basically put the ball in the basket. Taj Gibson with a good post game as well. Really good team right there for the Timberwolves, and it's going to be a hell of a physical and defensive team. Still, the problem is shooting, and I think they're going to need people to basically fill in them gaps to basically shoot and play defense at the same time. But I think Tom is just mostly focused on defense alone. While for Utah, they get Ricky Rubio, they get a point guard, they get insurance for George Hill, who's going to be in free agency and pretty much going to be looking for other team, which is rumored that he's looking for Los Angeles Lakers. Now, with Ricky Rubio, I feel he's going to fit well with Utah. Again, Utah still need a more aggressive point guard, I feel, especially with the pending with Gordon Hayward. Ricky Rubio is literally a 1-year deal away from basically leaving, so it's not a bad trade on their part. They get insurance for 1 year, and Gordon Hayward, if he decides to play, will bring more interest. If not, you just basically start rebuilding. Not rebuild completely, or basically retool. You still got Gobert, who's young, Favors, who's young, Hood, who's young. You got a lot of young players. You just got to find who's going to be the star of the team if Gordon Hayward should say leave. Ricky would be a very good pickup, and I think he would make the offense really good. He just cannot shoot, and the Jazz wouldn't have that go-to player to basically put the ball in the basket. So there's that. As far as the other deals, JJ Redick going to the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers really got a good piece, I feel, especially with a rebuilding process finally coming to the end, and now more of a contention process. Getting JJ Redick, getting the shooter to basically play as the 2 with Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons playing at the 3 most likely, 4 being Dario Saric, and the 5 being Joel Embiid. I think that team is going to be really explosive and really talented, especially Ben Simmons at the helm playing point guard, Markelle Fultz being the scoring guard, and Joel Embiid being the post presence / all-around player at his position. Pretty much with Saric, what you get is pretty much great passing skills, great playmaking skills, and also ability to finish around the rim. Still needs to develop his shot, but Redick should help out a lot, especially coming off of curl down screens, pin downs, and pretty much the passing ability of Simmons. Redick's going to be wide open a lot of times, especially if he can drive and create for himself. Not only for him, also Markelle Fultz and also Joel Embiid. It's a lot of distractions, and Redick should be open a lot to basically get his shot off. Not only that, the Sixers are trying to extend Robert Covington and still have a young group. So I feel with great opportunity, JJ Redick will produce. Also, not to mind, the Sixers also signed Amir Johnson. Now, Amir Johnson is a really good player. I feel like he's going to fit in really well, especially with his hustle rebounding, playing defense. Going to fit in really well with the bigs that they already have, Embiid, Rashard Holmes. And it seems like they're trying to weed out Jahlil Okafor maybe to add more veteran presence to basically, you know, teach the young guys how to play certain things or play certain positions, or basically just be, you know, more disciplined on defense morally. And I think a great guy to bring in also is just Amir Johnson. Really great job. Another signings that happened so far, if I can know from the top of my head, Tony Snell goes back to Milwaukee. Patty Mills go back to San Antonio. Other little things that I have to remember: Justin Holiday goes to the Bulls. Blake Griffin signs back with the Clippers. Steph Curry signs back with the Warriors, which was expected. Andre Iguodala, after many people felt like he was about to go somewhere, he signs back with Golden State. Sean Livingston signs back. And pretty much, I think MCW goes to the Hornets. If I remember, PJ Tucker goes to the Rockets, which I think is a really great deal for the Rockets, getting a defensive player. I still feel like they need offense off the bench, even though they have Eric Gordon off the bench. They have Nene. Nene is a good post-up option. They signed him for cheap after the first deal didn't go their way. And the Rockets seem like they have a good team. I feel like they still need one more guy to basically put on there. There's been a lot of rumors that Carmelo could be going to the Rockets or Cleveland. He said he's willing to waive his no-trade clause, as you guys know from the news. So I can see that happening. As far as other free agent deals, it's not really been much to really talk about. I've already landed on most of the big free agents. Kyle Lowry signs back again. Serge Ibaka signs back. Like, pretty much most people sign back with their teams. The biggest thing I feel like is Otto Porter. Getting contract to like a max deal contract from the Sacramento Kings. 4 years, $106 million to basically take away from the Wizards, and the Wizards only got 2 or 3 days to match. It's gonna be tough, and I wouldn't do it. Especially if I'm the Wizards. I will keep as much of my money as possible and see if I can actually land another big superstar on my team, especially a big spot, or just basically getting another wing. Because again, Paul George was still a 1-year rental. There's no telling what's going to happen to him. It's still a big free agency in 2018. I say wait it out. If Otto Porter pretty much is getting offered that money, I wouldn't take it. I still say he deserves money, but I don't think he deserves that kind of money. Especially if you're the Wizards and you're still trying to contend, still kind of retooling. Wall's still young, Beal's still young, and you still got a lot of young pieces off the bench, such as Kelly Oubre, who can step in and basically do with the same thing that Otto Porter does. So I think if you're the Wizards, you will leave Otto Porter alone, let him go to the Kings, and Kings will pretty much, you know, sign him and basically see what they can do from there, especially with the young pieces that they have. So from there and there on out, that's pretty much most of the free agency already. There's still more news to come, especially with Gordon Hayward and George Hill. Please check in this channel to see more. I'm also going to bring up some more Summer League news, so be on the lookout for that. As I said, this is like my first video since I posted for about 5 days, maybe a week, so please keep in tune for more videos that's going to come out. I'm definitely going to give you guys more videos, so I'm out. This is Young Shot. Peace.